Hey everyone, and welcome to another video essay slash cosplay worklog. This video is supposed to come out in October, so fingers crossed I actually managed to edit the entire thing before Halloween. For this video, I'll be talking about how, against all odds, TikTok helped save Beetlejuice the musical, all while showing y'all how I made my Beetlejuice costume for this Halloween. But before we begin, remember to hit a like and comment down below which is your favorite song from the musical. Ready? Okay. Just so you don't get lost in the time-lapse, here's a bit of information on how I made my blazer. First, I got another blazer that I really liked and turned the sleeves inside so I could copy its shape to my fabric. I made it a bit longer too. Then, to make the front pieces, I just folded what I had and used it as a reference. After that, I just sewed all those 3 fabric pieces together, being careful to leave the neck and armholes open. For the sleeves, I chose a different jacket that I thought fit me better and used it to draw the sleeves on my fabric. Then I cut the sleeves, sewed them shut, and attached them to the blazer. I finished by hemming everything. Now back to the ghost with the most. Beetlejuice is a 1988 horror/comedy film directed by Tim Burton. The plot revolves around a recently deceased couple, the Maitlands, who, after a tragic car accident, find themselves stuck in their former home and seeing the arrival of the new residents, the Deetses, and consequently the destruction of everything they liked about the place. In order to keep their house to themselves, the Maitlands attempt to scare the Deetses away, to no avail. Their efforts attract both Lydia, the teen daughter of Charles Dietz, obsessed with the quote-unquote strange and unusual, and Beetlejuice, a spirit/demon/poltergeist whose help quickly proves to be a ploy too dangerous for anyone involved. Beetlejuice's budget was of $15 million, with just $1 million given over to VFX. And yet, it was both a critical and financial success, grossing over $73 million in North America alone, making it the 10th highest grossing film of 1988. Today, Beetlejuice is a cult classic and a must-watch during Halloween months. And like any cult classic of this century, it's got quite a few adaptations under its belt. From its 1989 animated series to its many appearances in the Universal Studios theme parks, Beetlejuice is a character that lends itself perfectly for many different formats. And with that in mind, it's more than obvious that eventually there would be a musical about the ghost with the most. With a Washington, D.C. limited run in 2018 and a short-lived stay on Broadway, Beetlejuice the musical wasn't exactly a hit with critics and general audiences. From an interview with the show's costume designer William Ivy Long, Elisa Gardner said that while critics praised the show's design, the DC production caught flack for baldy humor that wasn't exactly family-friendly. Ben Brantley from the New York Times said, quote, "Invisibility is definitely not among the show's problems, overcompensating from the fear that it might lose an audience with a limited attention span is. Though it features a jaw-droppingly well-appointed gothic funhouse set, the show so overstuffs itself with gags, one-liners, and visual diversions that you shut down from sensory overload." Another one just for fun. From Entertainment Weekly's Nick Romano, quote, "Beetlejuice was crafted from a group of creative minds who clearly love the source material, though not all of it works. There are still second act problems and a song list void of any real bops. But it's a fun time for the Burton novice and pure fan service for the Burton stans, thanks in large part to the titular puckish undead spirit breathing life into a Broadway experiment that could have been dead in the water." Director Alex Timbers, in an interview for Town & Country, yay! Town & Country, I got it right, said that he'd embraced the source material but didn't want to make a copy of the movie. The plot is slightly different and some of the characters have been reconceived. But how does the musical actually differ from the movie? Well, Beetlejuice the musical has Beetlejuice and Lydia take a more active and central role to the plot instead of the Maitlands. It opens with the funeral of Lydia's dead mom, and right after that, the titled character himself shows up and addresses the audience on how this is a show about death. Beetlejuice then reveals that he cannot be seen by any human, but he has a plan to change that. Enter the musical's Maitlands, a more naive and extremely vanilla version of the movie characters, who this time die inside their home. And instead of finding the book for the recently deceased and following the way to the netherworld, their first contact with the afterlife is through Beetlejuice himself. Some similar hijinks happen, but in another deviation of the plot, Lydia finds Beetlejuice and is convinced to have him help her scare her father and not yet stepmother away, remaining in the Maitland's home with Beetlejuice and the deceased couple until Act 2, where she is very much used to the day-to-day life of living in a haunted house. Beetlejuice in this is also a much more sympathetic and redeemable character. It's also in Act 2 that the plot takes a left turn and deviates almost completely from the original movie, having Lydia go to the netherworld to find her mom and actually marry Beetlejuice. It's a green card thing though, only to kill him seconds later. This isn't even half of the changes made to the story, with many more sprinkled throughout the musical, indigestible bites to the audience. Time to get back to my costume. For the pants, I took my favorite pair, folded, and copied its shape to my fabric 4 times, remembering to switch sides. Then, I sewed the 2 legs separately and turned one inside out before sewing the crotch. If you watch these videos for the sewing, which I doubt, I'll leave a link in the description with the tutorial I used to make the entire thing. It's easy to see why musicals do so well on TikTok when you remember that it was created from the ashes of the dead Musical.ly, an app which primary function was to share lip-sync videos. And even though TikTok has evolved beyond that, lip-sync and music in general is still a big part of the app. Having said that, how did it help save Beetlejuice? First things first, according to Business Insider, TikTok isn't just saving this one musical, but completely changing the way we consume music. Quote, songs that trend on TikTok often end up charting on the Billboard 100 or Spotify Viral 50. And 67% of the app's users are more likely to seek out songs on music streaming services after hearing them on TikTok. With that said, in December of 2019, Rolling Stone published an article called "Can TikTok Save Beetlejuice, the Broadway Musical?" In it, author E.J. Dixon tells how the hashtag #SaveBeetlejuice trended and half a dozen petitions were created on change.org after the news broke that Beetlejuice would leave Broadway by June of 2020. And while it's surprising to see such a young demographic rally behind a musical that was completely roasted by many theater critics, Beetlejuice the musical is almost tailor-made for the Gen Z audience. To quote the article, since it premiered last spring, Beetlejuice has managed to vastly exceed the production team's expectations, not in terms of growth, but in terms of its popularity on social media. This Rolling Stone article from 2019 ends with the author saying that he doesn't know if the fan support will be enough to bring back Beetlejuice the musical. In an interview from the same year with FFWD, Jennifer Graysel, social media manager for the musical, explains that TikTok was a game changer for Beetlejuice because it allowed our original cast recording to reach millions more young people than Broadway marketing campaigns usually allow. She believes the musical songs work well on TikTok because of their quick, quirky lyrics. The success on TikTok has helped drive 150 million streams for the cast recording. And its popularity, both on TikTok and beyond, has had a residual effect on the show's social media presence and ticket sales, says Graysel. In the same interview, Presley Ryan, the show's original Lydia Deetz, says that she believes TikTok has encouraged more kids and teens to see the show since they were finding out about it after hearing clips of the songs and seeing cosplays on TikTok. To quote her, "Our show is appealing to a broader audience, not just the theater kids." Adding to that, Ryan said that many of the conversations she had with fans at the stage door suggest that Beetlejuice is their first Broadway show and that they went to see it because they heard the music on TikTok. Fast forward to September of 2021. The pandemic has happened. All musicals had to shut down for over a year, and news on Beetlejuice were silent. That is, until news broke that the Ghost with the Most would be returning to Broadway on April of 2022. TikTok really is a juggernaut and can change the entire musical industry with just one viral video. Just look at the success of TikTok-born Ratatouille and Bridgerton the Musical. And what once seemed like an impossible or stupid hypothesis, aka how can a social media app make a musical comeback from critically bombing, now is not only possible but also has a precedent. I just hope Beetlejuice's second chance at life is well-lived and gains as much financial success as it did with social media buzz. With that said, here's my Beetlejuice costume review. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I didn't give as many details on how I made the costume as I did last time, so tell me if you'd like me to tweak things about this format. I'm still learning. Also, my costume review wasn't outside because I didn't have a photo shoot scheduled before October, so that's on me. But anyways, I'm still getting used to this video format and tweaking it as I go along. So comment down below if you'd like me to change something, if you have any idea on how to make it better. Should I do more information on how I made the costume, or less information, or no information at all, just the time-lapse behind what I'm saying. But anyways, I hope you liked this video. Leave a like if you did. Also, follow me on all my social media. I'm Kim Quinn on everything. And subscribe if you want to. I'll see y'all later. Bye.